Bibi, pick up the phone, call him.
Israel doesn't apologize like this. Not to anyone.
Wrong. Today you do. Qatar's the broker. No apology, no mediation, no hostages. You want your people back? Say the words. Bibi, swallow it. Dial.
Prime Minister, Israel targets terrorists, not Qatar. And of course, we regret the loss of the lives of Qatari citizens. For this strike in Doha that violated your sovereignty, I apologize. I assure you, Israel will not carry out such an attack again.
Your apology is noted. We expect your actions to match your words.
Beautiful, Bibi. That's diplomacy. Now let's talk peace. 20 points. People laughed when I said it. They said peace in the Middle East is impossible. But maybe this time it works. Hostages back, rockets silent, Gaza rebuilt. It could actually hold. The Bible says there's a time for war and a time for peace. For centuries, this land, Holy Land, has burned. Kings, prophets, empires all tried and failed. And now, it's me, Donald J. Trump, holding the pen. If I succeed, my name won't just be remembered in America. It'll be remembered in the world. Lincoln freed the slaves. Roosevelt built empires. Reagan ended the Cold War. And me? I end the chaos of the Middle East. Mount Rushmore. They carved 4 presidents into stone. Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, Roosevelt. They built America. I didn't expand its borders. But if I bring peace to the world, maybe I deserve a place right next to them.
Welcome to PastCast, where politics meets history with a twist of satire. If you enjoy our take, hit like and subscribe so you never miss the next story. So what's inside Trump's big 20-point miracle plan? Let's unpack it without falling asleep. Step 1, silence the guns. Step 2, trade hostages for prisoners. 1,700 Palestinians for a handful of Israelis. Step 3, Hamas hands in all its rockets, tunnels, and toys, which is like asking a magician to reveal every trick before the show. Then comes the international babysitter, a shiny new technocratic committee filled with experts and, wait for it, chaired by Donald J. Trump himself. Tony Blair makes a cameo too. Yes, Tony Blair, the Iraq war guy, now cast as Gaza's life coach. Netflix couldn't write it better. Sounds dramatic already, right? But no peace plan survives without a little sugarcoating. Time for the sweeteners. Billions in aid pour in. Hospitals rebuilt, roads cleared, bakeries baking. Humanitarian groups run the show, while Israel promises it won't annex Gaza, though it'll keep a security perimeter that looks suspiciously permanent. And somewhere in the fine print, interfaith dialogues, TikTok-style peace campaigns, and a promise of Palestinian statehood someday. Translation: hold your breath for the next few decades. Of course, Trump never sells small print. He sells big dreams. And this one? Straight out of a glossy holiday brochure. Trump himself said it best. Gaza can become a resort. Imagine it. 5-star hotels, sun loungers, camel rides along the beach. Instead of rocket launchers, water slides. Instead of tunnels, underground spas. Peace doesn't just mean calm, it means business. Casinos, golf courses, fast food chains. If Trump Towers ever wanted a new franchise, Gaza just made the brochure. Looks shiny on paper. But in the Middle East, dreams tend to check out of the hotel before room service even arrives. Now, can it work? Hamas disarming? That's like TikTok teens giving up their phones, possible in theory, suicidal in practice. Israel actually pulling out? Maybe, but only if the committee checks every box twice. Tony Blair bringing peace? That's comedy, not policy. Best case scenario, a ceasefire, hostages home, Gaza rebuilt enough for Trump to take a Nobel selfie. Worst case, the plan joins Oslo, Camp David, and every other peace deal that aged like milk in the Middle East. And let's not forget, peace isn't just hard to build, it's terrible for business. At least for the people whose business is war. Arms dealers who thrive on endless war. Radical groups who lose their excuse to recruit. Hardliners in Israel and Palestine who need enemies more than they need jobs. And let's be honest, a few regional leaders who quietly prefer chaos because chaos keeps them relevant. So yes, peace makes sense for normal people. But for the professionals of conflict, peace is very, very bad business. And here's the fine print nobody wants to read. What if Hamas says no? Trump's made it simple. 3, maybe 4 days to accept, or face a very sad end. Translation: Israel dusts off the jets, Gaza takes another pounding, and Trump shrugs. We offered peace, they refused. Netanyahu already signed on, with conditions, of course. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, even Turkey, all nodded politely. Australia clapped from the sidelines, the EU mumbled something about hope, and Erdogan called Trump a genius. So if Hamas rejects, the plan doesn't just fail, it flips the blame. Arab capitals wash their hands, Israel claims the moral high ground, and a new transitional authority might be drafted to run Gaza without Hamas at all. Which means the real choice for Hamas isn't peace or war, it's deal or disappear. And either way, Trump still gets the last line. So that's it. 20 points, 3 days, 1 ultimatum. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's chaos dressed as progress, but in the Middle East, the real headline is this: Trump has turned war into a countdown show. And when the clock hits 0, we'll find out if Gaza gets a resort, or just another rerun. Thank you for watching PastCast, where the past echoes through today. If you enjoyed the satire, scrolls, and scandals, like, subscribe, and ring the bell before the next empire falls.